Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to another flip through. Okay, so today we're going to be flipping through some of my September portion of this book. This book holds two signatures, one for September and one for October 2019. And if you would like to know how I made this book, it's simply an altered composition book. Made into like a junk journal, if you will. So, if you want to learn how to make one for yourself, check the description box below where I will have the playlist to all the tutorials. So let's just get started here. Okay, sorry if there's a glare. These are Brooke's September date sticker pack that I get every month from Brooke on Recreations by Brooke. So I will leave, of course, her links below to her YouTube channel and her Etsy store. So let's just get started. Okay, so this was a Sunday, the 1st of September, and on this day here, I know my daughter was home, and so my husband and daughter and I all went out to a nice breakfast together. And then let's see here, the back. So I took one of the envelopes, or not an envelope, I took one of the menus, right? And I just cut it and glued it on three sides to make a pocket. The background here is just a piece of vintage, like a vocabulary children's book, and it's all about sewing. So I put that on there, glued it onto the main page. I'm just trying to explain a little bit about how I put my pages together because I've gotten a lot of questions about that. How do I put my pages together? So I'll try to, do it quickly and still get on with the storytelling of my life. So anyhow, on this day here, I got a lovely package from Selena at Amore Fabriques. I will put her link below as well. She has an Etsy store as well as a YouTube channel. And she had thought of me, which was so sweet and special. She had thought of me because she had tatting thread and she knows that I love to crochet. And so she wanted to know if I wanted some to try my hand at it. And I said, sure. So she sent it along and it is so super thin. I had ordered tatting needles, which you'll see later on in the book, and tried my hand at tatting. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And then of course we have Dorian the hurricane, and what a mess. Okay, what a mess. It was a category 5 storm and it completely decimated the Bahamas, part of the Bahamas, and it was horrible. It did end up skirting the eastern seaboard and not giving us any trouble at all. But it just totally demolished part of the Bahamas, which is, by the way, where some of my my grandmother's grandparents were great grandparents came over from the Bahamas, right? So yeah, and then they pioneered Elliott Key, which is one of the first keys in the string of the Florida Keys. Yep, so interesting little tidbit about my heritage. Anyhow, so yeah, I guess I'm part Bahamian, I suppose. I suppose you could think that way. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so on the back of here, I just, this piece of paper I got in Happy Mail, and it just talks about, I just glued the piece on to this that came in a magazine that we always get for hurricane prep every year. So yeah, so we went out to breakfast, we went shopping around. Oh yeah, I think Sunshine found out that he was going to be on the storm crew out at work, and that means that they have to be at work through the duration of the storm. So they bunk there, they sleep there, they eat there, all of that until there is no longer a threat. And so I think he only ended up staying one night because the storm, was it turned, so it didn't affect us at all, I don't think. So yeah. So, and the poor Bahamas, I mean, they got 24 hours of winds that were like 170 miles per hour. Crazy, okay? And now, I'm not saying in any, comparison to Dorian at the Bahamas, but we did survive Hurricane Andrew back a while back now, 20 some years ago. And it was a devastating Category 5 storm, and it pretty much almost wiped my little town off the map. So, yeah, but we're back, we came back. So this here, sorry if there's a glare, this was just a no good, very bad day. Yeah, it just was. So when I went back to do my journaling, I made this card out of just a piece of cardstock with a piece of magazine clipping. This pocket is magazine clipping that I found, and then by the time I was journaling on the page, I had time to reflect on what was going on this day, and so I made this tag to kind of bring a little bit of positivity to my book. So yeah, everybody was gone doing their thing, and I was home, by myself. And you know when that happens, you have too much time to think. And so that's, sorry for the glare, that's what I was doing that day, was thinking way too much. Okay, then this day here, I'm not really sure why my daughter was off on the 3rd. Like, I still can't think of why she was off, why she wasn't at work. Oh, it could have been because of the storm. Maybe they had days off due to the storm. Maybe that, I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, we went to Trader Joe's, if you couldn't tell. And I love this Inca corn, salted Peruvian Inca corn. Oh my gosh, it's such a yummy snack. And then I took the bag, and yes, I reused it and made a tag out of it. And it just says, it talks about, this is, these are Tim Holtz people, little girl for my daughter, me, my hubby. And it says, these are the days, and then these are little hand-painted border stickers from Brooke's sticker pack. And so, yeah, we just went out and about running a lot of errands. And then we went to Trader Joe's, which is up the road from us. And it was Big Handsome's first time. Yeah, he wasn't too impressed. Kind of like the same feelings that I have about Trader Joe's. Anywho, so then... Okay, yeah, and then we found out that Big Handsome's gallbladder surgery got moved up. So he was going to go in quicker than we thought. Okay, then this day right here, this whole page is kind of like an ode to my dear friend Allison from AJ's Inspired Life, and I will put her YouTube channel link below. I love her style of journaling. I just absolutely love it. And so this day here was kind of a frustrating day, but funny to look back on it. So my husband and I were at my son's house, and we were installing the microwave. Okay, so in the background here is the template of where you're supposed to put the holes and all this stuff, right? To like attach it, I guess, to the cupboard or whatever. So why, oh why does every freaking thing have to be a production? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I put on here, like, this is on the plans, it said to poke the hole right here. And then when we did it the first time, it was not in the right space. So we finagled it around, and then found out it was supposed to actually be punctured here. Not here, but here. Okay, it was, oh my gosh, yeah, it was crazy. So then I put as a, just as a little joke, if you can understand Chinese, you can install a microwave. Oh my gosh. And then I had this from a book that I have. If I think it's Chinese lettering. I don't know. Could be Japanese. I'm not sure. All the same, I can't understand it. Okay. So, and then I kept telling my husband, I was like, I don't think this is right. And then, so these are the Tim Holtz snarky thing. One of us is right. The other one is you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Big Handsome and me. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's funny to think about it now, but it was so super frustrating at the time. And then this is like it's just a security envelope from the mail that I reused. It's a window envelope. And what I had done was, because Selena at Amore Fabriques had given me that, the tatting thread, I made her a different style, but kind of the same, but I made her these little, paper spools so that she could wrap her lace around that she sells if she wanted to. So yeah, I just made about a dozen, to send out to Selena. They were 4x6 to hold some of the laces. Yeah. So I was hoping she could use them with her items in her shop. And then this is just a notepad glued onto it. This is a piece of scrapbook paper, by the way. So dropped off a huge load to Goodwill and then headed to pick up Big Handsome's truck. Finished. Okay, so Big Handsome had finished Sunshine's spare bathroom. So I cleaned and then we attempted to hang up the new microwave. Yeah, gosh. So poor Big Handsome, he had a rough morning this morning anyway, and I was feeling potsy. So yeah, we just, later on, we relaxed. We just had some hot dogs for dinner. Easy night. Okay, then on this day here, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember this day. Okay, it was another bad day. So this is my son's house. This is like what the kitchen looked like before, you know, white appliances and like Formica countertops. And so my husband had taken off part of the bar. And then in the bottom, we actually had, my son had quartz countertops installed all on one level. They came out beautifully. They're black. And then he got all new appliances in stainless steel, and it looks absolutely beautiful. My husband installed all of the fixtures and all that kind of stuff. And then that's the dreaded microwave, okay, that we had such trouble putting in. So yeah, okay, so all of that happened, right? And then this was just a cute little meme I saw online. So what I do when I see those things online, like on Facebook, I will click on the picture and then I will right click it and copy the image and paste it onto my word processor and then size it the way that I want it sized and then print it out. And then in this case, I just glued it on the 3 sides and made it into a pocket and just made this little journaling card with some feathers and a poem that I had in a book by Emily Dickinson. And on this day here as well, I think I was home alone for a while. Yeah, so, okay, sent Selena her little paper spools, had a totally unproductive day. It was super hot outside. In September, it felt like 101 before 10 a.m., yeah, I did nothing. And then, because I was feeling potsy, so I was pretty much having a bed day this day. And then I got fished. Oh, yeah, it was great. I felt so utterly stupid, and I had to call Apple, get it all straightened out. Luckily, they didn't hack anything, but I was just off my game that day. So anyway, this is a photocopy of a card I actually painted. I keep the original. I think I have it somewhere. And this was a feather that I had painted. I do believe I got the inspiration from Emma Lefevre, and I'll put her link below. I'll try to find the tutorial video, but it's super fun. It's a watercolor flower. And then I got, you know, I found a quote and used my ARTEZA twi markers and just wrote the quote down the side. So I like the way that came out. And then on this day here, this is actually a picture like my son's house was coming along. Sorry for the glare. So that is a picture of his living room, one end with the couch, the other end with the TV. And so I spent the day, you know, cleaning and getting everything all spiffy and ready because he was fixing to move in. He still at this time had not moved in. He had actually signed the papers back in July, and then all this time, this is in September now, all this time, now my dog's trying to get in. My husband had been repainting and changing out light fixtures and putting up fans and putting up artwork and just everything, right? So anyhow, this is another, what's it called? Like a vintage book, right? For like vocabulary for children. So it had a living room in it. So I cut it out and it was just really cute. And then let's see what's in here. It's on a little pocket. This was Friday the 6th. Oh yeah, and here's another. Why do I have 2 pictures of my son's kitchen? That's just weird. So here's another picture of it a little more close up. Anyway, so I don't know why. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Such a difference. Yeah. And then on here, this was actually the bottom of this page here. And so I cut it off, put one of Brooke's borders on it, and then checked off all the things that my son has in his living room. And this is a little Tim Holtz thing that there are 2 of them, so I put them together and glued them to the top to make a little tab and put a little ribbon on it. And yeah, so we were off to Sunshine's to touch up paint and finish plumbing. The counters look awesome. And then I called my girlfriend to see if we could donate the appliances to her church, the old appliances. And yeah, so Big Handsome, he hooked up all the drains while I cleaned the living room. We rolled the carpet out and everything looks so nice. Yeah, and then we stopped to El Toro Taco for some bean dip and then went home to relax and watch TV. Yep, so let's get that back in the pocket. Okay. And then I think I'll stop here. On this day, it was really kind of funny. This is my packaging, the beautiful artwork that Brooke does on all of her packaging. And I must have received my date stamps this day. Yeah, and then this was like super funny. This is what she wrote, because I wrote, note from buyer. I wrote, could you do me a favor, sweetie, and write, do not bend on the envelope so that my moron of a postal carrier won't make your package into an origami project? Thanks. So she said, "Elle, if he hurts this one, I'm going to make him origami." Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like, seriously, dude, you know, if it's an envelope, and I mean, it fits perfectly fine straight into my mailbox, but no, he's got to fold it in half. Oh my gosh. Anyway, needless to say, it was not bent. So this is just on a piece of notepad paper that I have. I sewed down the side. I sewed this thing on, right? This is a piece of canvas with a Tim Holtz stamp on it. I love doing that, stamping on fabric. It's super fun. Tim Holtz people. This was a catch-up day. This is a ruffle that I sew it first and then I just glue it on. So it's not like sewn onto the page, it's just glued on. And then, so woke to Big Handsome, already gone over to Sunshine's. Okay, so some of his new appliances were coming. I started the laundry. Yeah. Little bit of catching up and received Brookie stickers. Yep, so that was that day. And then on this day, I can tell by this photo right here, which is interesting because this came out of the photocopier red, but the book is actually orange. So, I don't know. But anyway, these are the books that I purchased. I purchased a set of 6, the Golden Book Illustrated Dictionaries, and those are the books that I'm using for next year's journals in 2020. So yeah, that was exciting to get those. And well, I didn't get them on this date, but I started making them. Like I started making them into my daily journals for next year. And then this is just a tag I made from one of the little like pamphlets in the book, which was super cool. They're vintage books. Love it. Okay, so Big Handsome was again up and over to Sunshine's before I got up. So he fixed all the GFI outlets in the bathrooms. He's not feeling well at all. He can't keep anything down. His surgery can't come soon enough. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, let's see. At this point, I was completing all of my May journaling and in September. Okay, mind you. In September, on this day, I was working on journaling in May. Yep. And then I got the first of the 6 journals that I'm going to use for next year's complete and all ready to go. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, so I will leave y'all here and I'll thank you for your time and thank you for sharing it with me. Remember to check the links below. You know, always check the links below. I always have links below. So yeah, if you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you get notified when I put out a new video. And have a wonderful rest of your day and a great week. And I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye.